Hey everyone, my name is Taps and thank you all so much for your support. We finally hit 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible because I started this channel as an outlet because I would not stop talking about crypto to my friends and family. So to have it have grown to this magnitude and build this strong of a community really means something, and I am stoked. So to give back to the community, I'm gonna be giving away some Veve collectibles, an ultra rare, a rare, and a common from my personal collection. Again, just as a thank you for the support and staying with me throughout the whole thing, and I'll be streaming the drawing live near the end of this week, but make sure you stick around to the end of the video to know how to qualify. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto, stock, and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. All right, so before we actually get into how you can qualify for a chance to win a Veve collectible, let's address why I just bought more OMI. Marketing, or lack thereof. We've been told that the marketing for Veve really hasn't even begun yet. And we've also been told that there will be marketing separately from the OMI token, but we haven't seen that yet as well. In this video, I'm gonna actually go into why I believe that is the case, when we're most likely to see marketing, and have we missed the boat? Should marketing have already started? In my opinion, no, and here's why, is when we actually look at the product lifecycle. So in this example, Veve is one product, even though they have multiple products, right? So when we look and see product development, you can see that the sales go up, profits kind of go down, and then they eventually go into profit. But what Veve's done is they are already very much in profit, but we're looking more at the cycles, right? So product development into introduction, into growth, into maturity, and then naturally your profits do decline, your sales decline as you have to keep reintroducing more and more products, right? But Veve really is still in its introduction phase because product development, I mean, it was in beta until what, 2-3 months ago? And now it's in this, again, introduction phase, not just to crypto, because people know now what OMI is, right? Some know what Veve collectibles are in the NFT space, but still not a lot. So another way of looking at marketing really for Veve is that they've already launched, but primarily to the crypto world, which is a sliver of the rest of the world, right? So in a way, their real product launch to the rest of the world and mass majority hasn't even kicked off yet. So when we look at all the little nuances that need to be in place for a perfect product launch, Veve has done most of them, but hasn't hit all of them yet. The readiness of the product, we know that the product is ready and looking solid. Sales cycle, so really timing the particular time when your target audience will want to use that product. When would they enjoy the product most? Well, NFTs are hot and they've timed that well. Then after scheduling is just time for this, right? Which they obviously, all they do is eat, breathe, sleep, Ecomi and Veve. But then we get to number 4 and number 5. We see the last step is marketing and communication. Before that is launch conditions. First, establish your brand's credibility to justify excitement for your new product. We know that the brand is solid. It has been validated by many, many licensors, the crypto world as well. Then there's this point. Make sure that you prepare your business infrastructure for the spikes in sales. Is your distribution system in place? Is your payment system glitch-free? And finally, time the launch in relation to existing products and their performance. The best time to launch a new product is when another product of yours is reaching the peak of its success. You can ride that momentum into the next wave of sales, which is kind of funny, right? Like we saw the collectibles going up, they were crushing, and then digital comics released. And now digital comics are absolutely going parabolic in terms of value, and they are selling out like crazy. What's most likely gonna happen is eventually those comics will, we'll see kind of a stagnant or a plateau, flat line of excitement. And then the next digital product, whether it's digital toys or Veveverse or whatever, is gonna actually come because we know that they're gonna have multiple product lines in the Veve app. But one thing jumped out here. Is your payment system glitch-free? Now this makes a lot of sense to make sure is nailed down before marketing and communication really goes full bore. And I've had plenty of people tell me, the Veve app looks amazing, like friends who have shown, but they're not putting money into something that they can't get the money out. And I'm sure many were attracted to the Veve app back in March, said, oh wow, this is awesome, but then didn't actually invest in it, didn't actually support it because Again, there was no way to actually pull money out of the app, instead just get more gems to buy more collectibles. And that's all solved with, of course, we've heard it a million times, MTL, or the money transfer license. And you guys are probably tired of hearing it, right? Because they've said MTL is coming this month and it was supposed to be already here, I think, last month or the month before. So what's the holdup? Well, Ecomi and Veve aren't dragging their feet. MTLs are a process and a half. For a money transmitter license in general, it's timely, but for crypto and fiat, it's even more so. The cost may exceed $1 million, excluding legal fees, and the processing times may take from several months to 1 to 2 years. That's why so many different apps in crypto don't have the ability to transfer to fiat unless it's a legitimate exchange or wallet. And again, they are very expensive, and it is needed for the app to cash out, right? As a crypto-related money transmitter, you will need to comply with AML compliance and customer due diligence requirements, and may be subject to the following: a surety bond of between $1,000 to $500,000, license fee of up to $3,750 per state besides Montana, 49 basically states, application fee of up to $5,000 per state, which is basically these two things together, up to $420,000 ballpark cost for MTL. But we know that their sales are well into the millions. So the cost is definitely not one that they're probably excited to do, but they do have the revenue for it. It's the time. So they've probably been working on this for quite some time and are doing everything under the sun to make this happen as soon as possible. But this is a bunch of legal hoops to actually jump through to make sure that they're up to compliance and that nothing happens bad to the app or negative press, which we don't want any negative press for OMI or Veve, because we want that token to fly back to its all-time highs, which MTL is going to help with. So once we have the MTL license, the money situation is handled and it gives the app a way to retain users, English-speaking users. But the other benefit to marketing is that you can market in more than just English to multiple different countries, different markets, and different audiences. But you need localization. Mobile is global, app localization is a must. I've said this in a couple previous videos, like in my anime video where I said anime vertical when it hits Veve is absolutely going to crush in terms of user growth, as well as digital manga will do very well. But when localization comes to the app and we're able to see more than just English in Veve, that's when things get really interesting, because they're targeting the whole world. They want to be a household name. And in order to do so, you need to target all of the major households, which a lot don't speak English. So localization, which will be coming, is needed to capture the full market share. As we can see, the benefits of app localization are get more downloads, expanding into other languages and continue to increase your app's visibility and exposure, improve conversion rate, delivering your app's unique value proposition in a country's native language is more authentic and engaging, thus more effective. Not all competitors are localizing for different markets, so you're staying ahead of the competition, which they are crushing. The competition is really not there yet. And to improve overall rankings, one of the metrics that helps you to rank higher in app stores are monthly active users. So we've seen Veve is a top 10 entertainment app grossing in US and UK and Australia. But when you actually look at some other countries like China, Japan, it's nowhere near. And that's where localization really comes in and why it's needed. It is more of an intellectual app where you actually need some guidance in your language, right? So like Meditations app, users need to interact deeply with the interface. For these apps, it's important to properly adapt the interface into the language you want to localize. Taking the time to make sure this is done correctly is key. If the user has a bad experience or doesn't even understand how the app works in the first place, this will result in lost users that can't be regained. So some probably loved this and thought it was great off the bat, but it was clunky because English is a second language and they just gave up on it, right? Once this actually translates into Tagalog and Mandarin and Japanese and Spanish and French, it's going to be that much easier for these to be attractive to those other fan bases in other countries. The last piece is, again, they said they're going to market the OMI token separate from the Veve Collectibles. But why in the world would they market OMI right now? They're waiting for Immutable X. Now you could say, well, why don't they just, Immutable X is right around the corner. Why not just start now? Well, we saw what happened, right? it's very difficult to get OMI, and a lot give up when they have to actually figure out how to create a Bit4x or an OKX or a Gate.io, or they don't want to get wrapped OMI on Uniswap. So it's actually very difficult to get, to where I hopped on a call with some of my friends to go through how to actually set up a Bit4x and get OMI. And it was a challenge to explain to people who really aren't deep in the crypto space just how to set all this up and get OMI. But again, all that is solved once we go to Immutable X. They'll no longer be on GoChain. They'll now be on an Ethereum layer 2 solution that has so much easy use to actually jump on more exchanges that are compatible with Ethereum. And this will happen pretty quick. Ecomi has been around for 3 years, and many exchanges are very much familiar with OMI. Let's look at the Sandbox. Sandbox is one of the top NFT projects, right? But they've only been around for 1 year. And in that time, they are on Binance, Huobi, Uniswap, KuCoin, Gemini, Bittrex. I mean, they're available on tons of exchanges and multiple ways to get the SAND token on multiple exchanges, whether it's USDT or Ethereum or Bitcoin. So being available on some larger exchanges that are more popular, like a KuCoin, a Binance, a Coinbase, a Crypto.com, that's when it makes sense to market the OMI token, when it's easier to get, which is coming on Immutable X. So we'll see a lot more coming in the next few months, let alone what OMI's market compatibility is in the next year. We see more and more celebrities and athletes and just influential people hopping into the NFT space. I mean, Steph Curry got a Bored Ape. Mike Tyson has a Cool Cat and is constantly now talking about crypto. But we haven't really seen any of these types of celebrities really tout Veve yet. Well, that will change once awareness builds and that marketing starts, and once they're actually targeting their fan bases of these celebrities, which Mike Tyson, again, has been very outspoken lately in his interest in crypto and NFTs, and Mike Tyson has a very large collection of X-Men collectibles. So we just saw X-Men hit the comics in Veve. X-Men collectibles are most likely going to happen as well. I'm a strong believer that we have Star Wars and that we'll probably see Star Wars collectibles as well. Leonardo DiCaprio has a massive collection of Star Wars collectibles. So some of these large celebrities are massive collectors themselves, and they have a big following. So Veve will be very attractive once we hit these fan bases. And we just saw comics. So doing my research for this, I just found out that Nicolas Cage is a big comic book fan. I did not realize that. In fact, his name, Nicolas Cage, he got because he decided to go with the last name Cage because he is a massive Luke Cage fan. And Nicolas Cage actually has some of the most expensive comics among his collection, including All-Star Comics number 3, Detective Comics number 38, Action Comics number 1, Fantastic Four number 1, and Green Lantern number 1. So definitely some impressive comics, and I believe I'm going to put something together and actually tweet out the digital comics to him just to see if there's some interest here. But again, more and more awareness, more and more content that is hitting Veve is eventually going to flood the outside world once it makes sense. Because it isn't about how many people you can attract off the get-go. It's about how many you can actually retain. Once MTL, Localization, and Immutable, more exchanges happen, or even one of them, that's when marketing makes sense. Because then they can actually retain the users. The users will want to actually talk about Veve, especially if they're celebrities. And that will allow Veve to continue to scale for a sustainable product and market. So in my opinion, that's why marketing hasn't happened. It just makes sense to make sure that these main catalysts are going to happen first, which they're all happening soon, right? So for those reasons, that's why I actually just added more OMI to my bags, because it's finally about to really kick off. Thanks so much for hearing me out if you waited to the end. So in order to qualify for the Veve giveaway, just make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below about what brand or license you want to see come to Veve, and that will be how I will choose the winners. Again, I'll be doing a live stream at the end of the week just to talk all things Veve and to go ahead and give away those Veve collectibles. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and again, thanks for all the love everyone's shown me and for the continued support. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.